right. Hello, everybody. You know, it's Dr. Croom, Army vet, and tonight I might just be Dr. Croom because I've got an amazing guest for you. We've started a series recently where I'm bringing on professionals in the various animal careers realm because it's wide and large. It's so much bigger than just veterinary medicine. I mean, it's veterinary medicine is an important part, but these other career fields where people get to put their hands on animals and really give that great care, that's what we're getting into more and more as we move forward with this channel. So tonight and this whole week, it is National Professional Pet Sitters Week. That's what I should have made the banner for earlier when I was like, why didn't I make the banner? What banner should I make? But and I can still add it because that's the thing about doing your own thing and having your own channel. You can do what you want to do. So I would like to introduce you all to amazing pet professional that I know who has her own business as well. And I'm going to let her tell you a little bit more about it. So, Tami Guy, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Dr. Croon. I am so happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me. And yeah, pet sitting and dog training and dog walking, that's the arena that, my team and I operate in.
Hey, you said your team. Okay. Like let's get into it. Like, we're businesswomen, we're professionals, and it's Women's History Year, right? We don't just take 1 month. We are doing amazing things all year.
Yeah.
As always. So yeah, it's Professional Pet Sitting Week. So do tell us how many different aspects there are to that. Like maybe start out with a little bit of like what most people expect it to be and then what it really is.
Well, the nice thing is it's different for different business owners that want to provide this type of service. You find what the people are really looking for and needing, and that's kind of how, since I started in 2017 here in Kalamazoo, there's been a lot of growing and learning and seeing what people need, what people find the most helpful. And so that's kind of where I ended up landing with dog walking. It started with pet sitting, dog walking, and we've branched out into dog training walks and dog training consults and dog adventures, where we take dogs out of the house to maybe socialize in public spaces, indoors, outdoors. And that's something that I think clients, it's a service that clients don't always know about, or that people in the area don't always know about. And for socializing, it's so valuable. So we've kind of grown in those directions based on how we thought we could best help our clients in the Kalamazoo area.
I mean, that's what it's all about is helping the pet owners, when it gets right down to it. I talked to a group of kids today and I reminded them out in Flint that it really has to be about the people too, much as we might want to just be in the corner with the animal all day. And that might be how we were as a youth. But it can't just be only that. And so it's great that you have a pet parent centered business. A couple weeks ago, we had on another guest, Miss Arisha Coffee. She's out in, I want to say maybe Saginaw area, and she's a dog trainer, and she started doing adventures and things like that as well. And so I need to introduce you to, because really that's what it's all about when it comes to women entrepreneurs. Like, we are really amazing and we need to share. There's enough customers and clients for all of us. And a lot of times you can refer and share and just, create an amazing thing.
And it is spectacular to be involved in the pet and pet parent community in this area in Southwest Michigan, because there's so many other great companies and great professionals. And, that's one of the things that we love to do, being able to sometimes refer people. We want to become kind of a resource for folks. And so, if they're looking for a groomer that's in their area, or, if they have a question, about pet care, maybe we can refer them to a veterinarian or refer them to some other resource. We really want to be there for our clients to be like a good resource to help them when they come up with these questions they have in caring for their pets.
One of the things that you and I share is the fact that our business is mobile. Like, that can't come. That is so amazing. I mean, like when COVID came around, how did that affect your business? Because I know for the veterinary business, it allowed me to do a lot more virtual and expand that aspect of my business. And I've kept that. Oh, I've kept it. It's amazing. But what about you with your business and how the pandemic affected that, perhaps?
It did get me thinking about more virtual things as well with respect to excuse me, with respect to training consultations. It's nice to be able to help people anywhere, not just, in one location. But sorry, if somebody has a friend who doesn't live nearby or a family member and they need that kind of help. So the virtual part is big. The pandemic, was something. I mean, just for everyone, just the amount of challenge and stress and growth that happened in this situation that was pretty unique. I mean, we hadn't had a global pandemic in a,
couple decades.
So yeah, people were. I think one of the big things that happened is people got a lot of pets. The shelters, were kind of emptied out, and so people were home all the time. And so I think that a big difference a big excuse me, impact that we've seen is people needing to go back to work, and maybe their pets used to having them around all the time, or now they need to travel and they're transitioning from this. I was home all the time, and now my dog or my cat is used to that, and now that I have to leave, I don't want them to be stressed and unhappy.
Exactly. Well, shameless plug for my Shen Calmer herb, but that herb started to fly off the shelves just for that reason. Cats, dogs, and horses. The horses too. Out in the field with the fireworks and the thunder, like mom all of a sudden has to go back into work. So I feel what you're saying, because that was a big thing on the behavioral aspects of pets, that we went into their homes and, they're like so clinging to mom or dad and, really nervous. And of course, we always get our dog hates the vet, like when we come in there. But by the time we're done, my team and I, we've pretty much changed their minds. We do everything so quickly and smoothly. And I want to know more about like what your at home, at the job routine is like. I know it's probably different for every person that you serve, but what are some, kind of typical daily things that you would do?
With respect to services and kind of how, they might fall into a typical day, we do in-home drop-in pet care. So depending, that is one of the services we provide. So if it's a dog, there might be 3 drop-in visits or even 4, depending on whatever the client feels most comfortable with and what will, be best fit for them and their pet's needs. So there might be, and I was a solopreneur for a while. So I was doing all of these for probably, I think about at least 2.5 years before I built my team. But it'd be morning. You got to let the dogs out in the morning when people are gone, midday and evening. So so your day would be structured, if you had dog sitting, to always have morning, midday, and evening. And then the dog walk window is usually kind of right in the middle of the day, when people are most typically at work. A lot of these routines have changed so much, like we were talking about the pandemic. A lot of people are working from home a little bit more now, but our day is filled with kind of a mix of dog walking and the pet sitting in the mornings, dog walking general in training and out and about in the middle of the day, and then more pet sitting and dog sitting in the evening. So it's a nice combination of all these things, the drop-in pet sitting, and it's really nice for pets to be able to stay home. Some dogs do really well in a kennel environment. They like to go there and hang out with their friends, and it works for them. But for some animals, it doesn't, and I think especially like for cats. Some cats are really disrupted by any change in their routine. So to have a pet sitter come into your house who has, does this for a living and has knowledge about pets' behavior and needs, it is really valuable. I mean, I thought about what I would want to have available for me and my pets, and that's kind of what we've built here with Creatures.
That's amazing. Like, tell me a little bit more about your team. Like, how many people do you have, and a little info about them.
Yeah, there are 6 of us now. I'm so grateful every day. That's one of my big gratitude practices. Is like I'm so grateful for my team. It's such a wonderful group of people, and everyone that has joined me since I started hiring team members is still with Creatures. So it's not this revolving door thing. It's we really are about developing long-term relationships with pets and with their people and enriching their lives and getting to know them. So now we have a team with a wide array of expertise. I mean, my background's in animal behavior, my background's in zookeeping. So, I've initially put together a framework for, this is how we need to do things. And then the people that have been brought onto my team also have their own animal expertise. So between, how we get things done safely and completely at Creatures, and then everyone bringing their own talents. I have team members that have rescues, that foster rescue animals, that have worked in rescues. I have a team member who's an equestrian, people with a wide array of animal experience. And I think that's really valuable for pet sitting. People don't always think of that right off the top of their head. They think about Jimmy, the little boy next door, can take care of my dog. Or, and that's how it was. I did that when I was a little kid.
Yeah. I mean, these days you never know what little Jimmy's gonna do, but keeping it positive and light. I love the fact that your team is so varied, because that's one of the things I joked about with the kids. Well, not really joked about, with the students that we talked to today, letting them know that we have such a wide variety of animals, that we had to learn about in vet school, that we got the leg up on our human medical doctor counterparts who only had to learn about one species. That's amazing that you have people on your team that can deal with the different species, because, even on the vet side of the house, when people ask about large animal for me in my practice, I'm like, we do some farm animal work, absolutely. But the horses, the equine stuff, I leave that for the equine vet. Like, that's not a realm you can just jump into like that. So for the fact that you have an equine member of the team, hey, I'm looking too. That is awesome.
And everyone is really solid in their abilities and their love for animals. So again, I've just been so fortunate to be able to build this team. And I think that's something with pet sitting in particular, or even dog walking, even if it's not, people used to maybe having the kid next door doing the pet sitting or the dog walking. One of the big advantages of having a team there for you is that if you need pet sitting, if you have a vacation coming up, we've got a team of people that are familiar with your pet or that we will be introducing to your pet. And so you don't have to make sure that one person is available for exactly when I want to go on vacation. We've got you covered. We've got a team with, wide ranging availability. And so we can be there for you when you need us. And also having multiple people, especially we work with a lot of shy dogs, cats, and some other animals that are a little worried. I see a lot of worried pets, different levels of anxiety, maybe just a little nervous or quite a bit nervous. And so when that client works with a team, that pet is going to meet a number of people who are awesome. A number of people who show up with treats and pets and loves, and that allows that pet to develop a better opinion of people in general, right? Well, all these people that show up, they're awesome. They bring me treats and they pet me and they take me for a walk and they're fun. So it really is kind of a built-in socialization help as well for some people that have animals that are a little shyer. We can help build some confidence.
And that's exactly what they say too, word for word, because I talk to them and they say exactly that after you've left. that they really appreciate you coming. One thing I wanted to remind people of is that since it is Professional Pet Sitting Week, we want to give you a lot of kudos for, the fact that you've gone to school and gotten schooling for this, and not just allowed the people to rely on their neighbor, the kid next door, or something like that. That is so common, and like you said, it's been around since the '70s. The whole industry of
Professional pet sitting, but yeah, it was brand new then for sure. And
yeah.
I started in 2017, so
Okay.
it's been a little while, but I mean, this industry has been around for a while. People are still surprised though that there are professionals and they don't always know that what we offer, and it is something that I love to talk to people about, because there will be so often somebody will be like, I didn't even know you guys existed, or I didn't even know this was possible.
That's
And absolutely.
I love that. I love when people don't know. Sometimes I'll go to, some of these pop-up shops or shows at, the expo center or something like that, women's events or veterans events. And it's really great to reach out. Do you get to do much networking? And if so, is your team involved, or how's that work with your company?
We did quite a bit, and then I think after COVID, that just kind of fell off. And now I have a team that's where there are members involved in marketing in the community and doing things in the community. So I think now that it's a bigger team,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not doing all of those outreach things myself, that's a really good thing. I love doing that. We would go to apartment complexes for like pool parties at pet friendly apartment complexes. And there are a number of pet events. I mean, Kalamazoo is a pretty pet friendly city. So there are events, a number of events that we can participate in. And I want to get back to doing more of that.
Okay. So for the people that are watching, again, I'm going to put your name up here. What would you say? What are some of the things they should think about or ask themselves as they're wondering, like, do I need a professional pet sitter? And, what aspects should they look at or think of?
Yeah. When you're looking for a professional pet sitter, I would definitely first start with looking at some kind of reviews. I mean, if I'm going to find any service provider, especially for something as important as like caring for my family member, if I'm going in cold and I don't know this company at all, looking at reviews is an important place to start, because you're kind of starting with nothing. A lot of times we get referred to clients by other clients or by other pet professionals, and that's always, I think, comforting for a pet owner to like have some kind of connection where my friend has experience with this person. So I would just start from that, as far as if you're starting from zero and you're just kind of evaluating what's out there. But also, as far as there's no kind of enforced industry standard or licensing for this. Anyone can say they're a pet sitter, and anyone can go pet sit. So some of the things to look for would be pet sitting insurance and bonding. I mean, people are trusting us with their pets. They're trusting us with their homes. So make sure a company is insured and bonded. Have professional organization associations, like we're associated with Pet Sitters International. I think that kind of helps people stay kind of on the edge of what's happening in an industry if you're a part of a professional group like that, continuing education, things like that. So I would look at reviews. I would pick out some companies. I would, either I would interact with, like, reaching out maybe through their website or online or by phone or however you feel comfortable. But looking at a website would be, again, if I was a pet, I am a pet owner, but if I was a pet owner looking for pet sitting service, that is kind of how I would proceed. There are also, I just thought about this the other day. I was giving a referral for somebody who was looking for service who was outside of our service area. And there are also different search tools that are not just random, they're by professional organizations. Like Pet Sitter International has a search tool. So sometimes if somebody moves, maybe a client that we've had for years and they're moving, I can send them links to some of these tools to say, okay, this is a search tool for professional pet sitters. You'll be able to find people that are part of this organization.
Okay.
And there are a few services like that. And just getting that meet and greet, once you've narrowed it down, you're like, okay, there are a couple different people I'm interested in, or a couple different companies I'm interested in. They have insurance, they have bonding. What is my experience with them going to be like? How am I going to know that they visited my pet? Now that we've got computers that we carry with us everywhere, we can text, we can take pictures, but our company uses a software that's specifically designed for pet sitting and dog walking. So whenever we visit a client, there's a GPS timestamp that says we were here, we arrived here at this time, we left at this time, and the client gets a little visit report. So these are the things that were done. Here's some cute pictures of your pet, because I know you're missing your pet. You're away from your pet. That's what I want when I'm gone. I want people to send me pictures.
That's right.
So they can get instant knowledge of that, this care was provided. So it's not like somebody just doing them a favor and maybe sending them pictures of their pets, maybe not. We're going in there as professionals doing this, working with animals all the time. We know to look for when things kind of maybe don't look right, or it doesn't seem like the animal is eating as much as they normally are, or maybe their gait's a little funny. We're keeping an eye on all those things. Does the animal seem happy? Does the animal seem healthy? And also just look at safety. Meet the person after you've made those selections. Meet the person or the owner or whoever's going to be the ambassador for that company, and just see how you feel about them. I mean, it's just somebody who's going to be taking care of a animal family member of yours. You want to kind of get a vibe. They have all the stuff lined up. So how do I feel about this person? How do they interact with my pet?
Yeah.
How are they like, or so that in-person experience, we always offer a meet and greet prior to enrolling any client, just to make sure they're comfortable with us, to make sure we're comfortable with their pet, that we have all the info we need to provide the care. That way, they really get to feel for what we're like, and they get the opportunity to ask us questions in person and see how their pet responds to us as well.
I love that. Yeah, that in person, there's nothing like it, And also earlier you had mentioned the word of mouth as far as one of the top ways, and it's the same over here. Doesn't it feel great to get a referral, just an honest referral from somebody who loves your work, and you love what you're doing? So it's just a win-win all the way around with that word of mouth. You mentioned it just a minute ago that you're a pet parent, and so my final question for you tonight, because I know that you've had a long day as well. And
I love talking to you.
I know. Same. We definitely need to get together, and we'll make it happen because we're both mobile. Like we can meet at the, Jack's Beach. Who are we sponsored by? Somebody out there. Naturalpetpromise.com is sponsoring us tonight. Oh yeah, I guess that's not food. It's food for the pets though. So the question is, one thing that I've found over the years as a veterinarian, I've been a vet now for 23 years, was that a lot of times my work allowed me to obviously interact with a lot of animals, and that gave me a lot of love. And I didn't necessarily need my own pet all the time, And so you're a pet owner now. Can you tell us what pets you have and how that relationship might work for you?
And I completely get what you're saying too. Sometimes I don't have cats in my home right now because my kids are allergic, and I love cats. But so I get to get my cat fix when I go out and take care of people's cats, and so I'm extra like, oh, a cat, yay! I love kitties. But I would have endless number of animals in my home, and but I trying to control myself. We have 4 dogs and one bird. And my bird is asleep. Otherwise, I would introduce. It's kind of past her bedtime. She's all
Yes.
tucked up. So my bird is up in my office with me. She's a Maximilian Pionis. She's like a medium size, very gorgeous creature. She's a real sweetie. But I have a number of dogs. We have our dog Lulu, who is a family. She's a little fluffy. She's one of those little fluffy barky dogs. She's
Okay.
wonderful.
Okay.
She's in charge of
We had a
everything.
name for them in vet school, but just call them ankle biters this time.
She is a force. So she's in charge. And then I have my daughter has a dog that's a rescue. Um, I have my Belgian Tervuren, which was kind of my first dog since I moved over here. And then recently I got a Australian Shepherd male who's just insane. And I thought my shepherd, my Belgian Shepherd would be so excited, and she was just like, "No one asked me. Like, you shouldn't have assumed."
You could have talked about this.
Yeah. It's just like, "Ooh." But no, they have a great time. So yeah, it is. Sometimes it's especially nice now that my team is out doing a lot of the pet care. I do some. I help fill in where the schedule needs filling, or if somebody's sick, or sometimes I just do work out in the field a whole day. But it's nice at this point to be able to spend more time with my own pets too, and to be able to work from home. So that's that's a little bit of what my world looks like now. You can work from your phone, you can work from your laptop. So on those days when I'm not pet sitting or dog walking or dog training, I can be working and hanging out with my parrot. And it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
What's his name?
Rita is my parrot. Rita, Margarita. Yeah, I like to send you a picture. I'll have to send you a picture of her. I know if I moved my screen, it would get all wonky, but
yeah, absolutely.
Looking at me like, isn't the light supposed to be out?
I mean, to tell you, mine's certainly about to be. Well, maybe in an hour or so. But yeah, if you send us a picture, maybe we can post that with our kind of follow up, or add it to the post or something, because I'm sure we would love to see her. All right. Well, it's been an amazing time talking to you. And again, we really do need to, we're not just saying we're going to meet. We're really going to meet because,
absolutely.
Individually, we're a force on our own, but together we can create a tornado of amazing pet care, compassionate pet care, awesome.
Pet love, pet care.
All of that, all the feels. So thank you so much for spending your time tonight and joining me to talk about professional pet sitters and yourself and your company. Congratulations on everything with your team and being able to, take your time with what you need to do in self-care and being with your own pets. So everybody, thank you for joining us out here. Make sure you check out Miss Tami Guy at Creatures Pet Care. Could you tell us the website?
It's creaturespetcare.com. You can just look up Creatures Pet Care Kalamazoo. But we're easy to find. We've got a nice website that's easy to take a look at what we offer and reach out to us if you have any questions. Happy to talk to any of you guys out there who have questions about pet sitting, dog walking, dog training, that stuff.
That's what I'm talking about. Well, Hayes says good night. Hey, Hayes.
Oh, hey, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, you sleepy. So sleepy.
Very sleepy. He missed my dog, Mayo, who's even further down the cattle dog mix when we were out of town just for one night. And, he goes into a funk and, now they're back together again. So they really do have feelings, they feel a lot.
Yeah, they really notice when their people are gone. And that's one of the reasons it's so nice to be able to come in and take care of these babies and help them have as much fun as possible with their people are away.
That's right. All right. So I want to just say hey to Sandra Reese as well. Thank you for joining us tonight, Sandra. She was in the chat watching us. She's an amazing lady out in Detroit. pet owner and dog lover. So thank you so much, Sandra, for always being a follower and an animal lover as well. And we'll see all of you next week or maybe the week after. Thank you, Tami.
Thank you so much. You have a good night, and we'll get together soon.
For sure. Peace.